Hey, it's Barrett from Portakeeper. I have a couple of Eureka grinders that I want to take a look at real quick. I've done this Atom 75 in the past in a written review. I haven't really done much video reviews other than comparing it against a couple of other grinders. But I recently picked up this Atom 60 from Espresso Outlet. So this has 60 millimeter burrs. This has 75. There's actually one that is kind of in the middle that has 65 millimeter burrs, but I've kind of already reviewed it in the past. I've had the Rocket Faso grinder, and that it is actually made by Eureka, and it uses the 65 millimeter burrs. So I think something that a lot of people might find interesting is, even though these are quite a bit smaller, it is the exact same grinder case. Now on the inside they have different motors and obviously different burrs and burr sets. So I want to do a quick grind comparison, and we're going to start with the 60. So this is the Atom 60, and I actually have it set on about 11 seconds, 10.95. And this morning, I've been using a couple different beans, but this is getting me 18 grams. So we're just gonna throw it in. They're nice and fluffy. So that's about 18 grams of beans, and it took about 11 seconds to grind. I'm going to dump this, and let's grind out of the Atom 75. So, like I said, almost 11 seconds. I actually have this set at 2.95 seconds. There's the same 18, much faster. I mean, considerably faster. This is one of the faster grinders that I've ever used. I'll throw up my puck press, and you're ready to go. I mean, it's so fast. So if you're trying to get a little bit more speed, I think the 75. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is a little bit faster. I hope to do some videos on, and it's really hard to explain taste unless you're actually here tasting it. But the flavor that I'm able to get out of these slightly larger burrs, and when I say slightly, I mean that's quite a bit bigger. 15 millimeters bigger is a lot. I think kind of the threshold, I've done some tests in the past where I did some 65 millimeter versus the 75 versus like 83, 80. The 75 seems to be kind of like the sweet spot. It doesn't retain a lot, and much bigger, I didn't really seem to gain much. Much smaller, and I started having more issues getting that really hard to dial in that very rich, amazing shot of espresso. These are pretty much dedicated espresso grinders, so that's really what I'm focused on these two. So really cool grinders. I think if you got the 60, 65, or 75, you're going to be happy with any of them. Quite a bit slower. I didn't think I'd like this kind of goofy hopper at first, but I kind of like it. It says the round. I kind of prefer the round personally, but the clear top is pretty nice. You can see how many beans are in there a little bit easier. The black, I don't know, it looks a little bit more streamlined, I think, a little bit more professional. I've never really liked the more squared off, but honestly, in person, totally kind of changing my mind. It fits the profiles of the machine. So, pretty cool grinder. Hoping to do a lot more videos on this, but if you're trying to make the decision, you can put some comments below. People will reply, help you make some decisions, but this thing's pretty solid. Use the Nuova G60. It actually uses the same burrs, and I would say this thing's outperforming. Not really sure why, just a little bit different in the way that it's designed. The G60, it had a lot of popcorning, where this thing is just, it's so smooth, so quiet. The G60 was so loud. 75, very quiet as well. It's one of the more quiet grinders. You can get it in the chrome, the white. I don't have it here. You can get these in black. Trying to think if they did a couple more colors. I think it's more like the Specialita that they do all the crazy red and green and blue. But they might have some of these. I believe the 60 actually comes in a few more colors than the 65 and the 75. Big fan of the chrome personally. Maybe you have like a Lamarzico or something. The white looks really good. A solid black would look really good with some of the others like Rocket. They have their Apartamento that's all black. It'd look amazing with that. So a lot of color options. I mean, they're basic, but it's going to look good in your kitchen. So let me know in the comments. I'll be doing a little bit more comparison on these. I guess one more thing, just real quick. This one, the fork is fixed, and this one is magnetic. And I actually don't have it handy right now, but there's a bin that fits right here. Not really used it yet, but if you're going to do like drip versus the espresso, you'd have to make your grind adjustment change and put it in there. I really don't like doing that. I just don't. The turn, the niche, a little bit easier to change between those adjustments, but this micro adjustment setting is so just, you're barely turning it, and it makes quite a bit of a difference in your grind. So it is an option. It did come with this one. I don't think it's going to fit on this one because this one's not magnetic. It doesn't come out. This one comes out, has a little magnet in there. But really what we're focused on here is espresso, in my opinion. The fork on this one, it seems to fit a little bit more nicely, where this one's a little bit more flat. I don't know why. It's just the way they bent it. Not a big fan of Eureka's forks at all. They look very much the same, but yet on the 75 it does fit quite a bit better on the spouted and the bottomless. I mean, I'm using a bottomless right here, and it fits in pretty nice. Specialita has this little lip right here. It just didn't grab the portafilter as good as these two, so a little bit better design, but I really wish that they would up their game on the fork itself. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to highlight it. I hope to open this thing up and do a lot more in-depth review. Thanks.